Hello, my beautiful people, and welcome back to my channel. I want to get a few disclaimers out regarding this video first. This is gonna be raw. There's gonna be things that are said that might offend people. Uh, that are not gonna be PG because how do you beat around a bush talking about suicide? You can't. You have to do it raw. I would also like everybody to watch this video to the end, even if you don't have anybody, even if you are not dealing with suicidal thoughts yourself. I can guarantee you know somebody who is dealing with suicidal thoughts. And I will, you know, hopefully at the end of this video, you will be able to at least help them some way, somehow, or at least get some clues on how they're dealing with it, because the only reason you might not know is because a lot of people with suicidal thoughts generally hide it pretty well. Believe me, I've hid it well. So let's get back to this. Let's get to the start of this video. I am 38 years old. My first suicidal thought was around 12 years old, and it was a project for school. What amazes me today is looking back at it as a adult, did nobody talk to me. Nobody said anything. My dad was never notified, but it was like a little project we had to do. Where do you see yourself in X amount of years? And I think I was dead by 25, 30, somewhere around there. Okay, I get it that it was 20 years ago. People didn't like to talk about mental health like they do now. But you would think, even if it was 25-ish years ago, you have a student that is saying, hey, they don't see themselves alive by X amount of years. That should be a sign. But, it was just that generation that, or my parents' generation, the baby boomers that ate their feelings and taught us to eat our feelings, and why their their children's generation is so miserable. Like, after that, I didn't really have any suicidal thoughts. I was just the average. I mean, I wouldn't say I never did, but I never acted out on my suicidal thoughts until after my dad died when I was 18. When my dad died, that was what sent me off the cliff. The the cliff that I couldn't get out of. And I was in that hole until I was almost 30 years old. I would say a little older, but either way. When he died, he was the only person I had in my life at that up to that point. I mean, I had brothers, but they lived in with their parents, and two of them lived 8 hours away, and my other one I only saw every other weekend. But nobody offered. I mean, they didn't know what to. I guess I wouldn't say. When you lose the one person that mattered to you, the one person that believed in you, to a freak automobile accident at 18 years old, that's gonna hurt you, no matter who you are. And I, like I said, I went through a dark phase in my 20s. Like, I can't remember most of my 20s because I was that depressed and that suicidal. I don't have scars from it, but I will admit I was an asshole. I was a dick to a lot of people because of depression. And I took it out on the wrong people. I lost friends over my depression. I just didn't care because I truly didn't think I would wake up the next day. There are a lot of people that even today probably didn't know I was suicidal. outside of my inner circle. And that's kind of why I'm posting this video too. I hid it well. I just came off as an asshole so people wouldn't be around me. I would be happy if I was with friends I liked. Thankfully, I never turned to drugs or alcohol. My family has addictions with those on both sides. I came off as a normal person that hated life. But as I said, I could be around my friends and happy. They didn't know. They had no clue what was going on in this stupid freaking head of mine. Until I started talking to them up to a few years ago. Nobody knew. And I still, as I aged, I've gotten a little bit better at dealing with my depression and suicidal thoughts. I've learned I cannot have guns in the house because even though I grew up with guns hunting, I can't have guns in the house because up until recently, I'd blow my brains out with them. I'm not a cutter. I would blow my brains out. My dad had suicidal thoughts, and he was a hanger. He was a hanger. I'd blow my brains out. So I met a partner in I think it was like 31, 32 years of age. And we eventually broke up a few years ago, but she was one of the first people that knew about my suicidal thoughts. I didn't really have my friends at that point that I have now that I could talk to. I felt comfortable with her. And I remember sitting there crying one night because I couldn't live anymore, and talking to her in the bed we shared. And I could see the sadness in her eyes. And I didn't want to disappoint her. So I buried it. Buried the stupid thought. Went on with my life. And the last few years, it's been a major thought of mine again, especially in the last year. I am here because of friends. The friends I have now, I am here for because of them. And my grandma, even though we butt heads worse than two rams trying to mate, fighting for mating, I didn't want her to bury another family member. What helped me, even though I burdened my friends, was talking to them. I would spiral because of my depression, and I'd have to talk to them. That is what would help me. I know they got sick of it. I would admit myself for colds all the time because I couldn't deal with life anymore. Then came January. My 88-year-old grandma fell while I was asleep because she was too stubborn to wait an hour for me to get up and shovel the damn driveway. Or not the driveway, the porch. And I didn't know she fell. I didn't know she was outside even. I get woken up to the neighbors saying that Grandma fell and they're taking her to the hospital. Thankfully, she's fine. Nothing was broken. Thank God. But I remember coming home burnt out from work, depressed, while she was in the hospital. She was gone for like 3 weeks between the hospital and the old folk home. And wanting to kill myself. But I couldn't do it, and I would talk to my friends. And there was a lot of my friends telling me to shut the fuck up. But I don't know if they knew how bad I was. That was my only way of coping with it. So, fast forward to today. I've not been suicidal since April? No, March maybe. March, February. February, yeah, when my grandma came home. I have talked to a lot more people in my life. I have unburned some bridges in my life because of the way I was when I was suicidal. But I want you, everybody, whether you're suicidal or not, to know this. You might not think you matter, but until I started talking to my friends and my brother I only see a couple times a year, I found out I mattered. Find yourself good friends. You probably have good friends. Talk to them. Talk to family if you're close with your family. I can guarantee you, you will feel loved. You won't want to do it anymore. Even if it's only temporary to help you, it'll give you something to think about. As for the people that don't have suicidal tendencies, you're not going to understand this stuff. But if you have kids, you have brothers, you have parents, but kids, grandkids, friends, anybody in your life that's important to you, give them a hug and talk to them. Tell them how much you mean to them. But I think I'm going to wind this video up. I'm going to go eat some dinner, edit this video, and hopefully have it out tonight. So, hopefully next time you see me, it'll be a good thing. It really will be a good thing. It's just something that had to come off my chest. So, I can't self-promote in this video. But please share this video with people. I don't care if I gain subscribers off this video. But please share it. And if you are struggling, I will put links into the suicide hotline in the description down below. And you are loved and cared about. Bye.